Hi crafty friends, it's Lori with a craft party. Today we're going to make these cute little envelopes with some doily and some lace, some sari silk. The first thing you're going to need is some cardstock. This is a little bit thicker cardstock, so you might want to have a double layer if you don't have a thicker layer of cardstock. Let me see if I have the book. Yes. The one I'm using is from the Paper Studio Haberdashery, 12 by 12 inch, but it doesn't say how thick the pages are, but that'll give you an idea of what I'm using today. And the first thing I want to do is cut this down. I'm going to cut it at 6.5 inches. And I just chose this one for no real reason, just thought it was pretty. So we've got, right, 6.5, yes. And then we're going to go 4 3/4. By 4 3/4 would be 8, 9.5. Okay. Then we're going to take this and we're going to fold it in half. And we're going to sew around the outside first. So we're not going to sew the top shut. We don't want to sew there, but we want to sew down this side, across the bottom, and up this side just so it all looks coherent. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I sewed around about 1/4 inch. So in case you was wondering about that. The next thing I want to do is take my doily and a scratch piece of paper, and I'm going to use my Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. Put it on the side, the top side, and I'm just going to lightly distress the doily. This way it'll match the paper of the envelope a little better. Okay, and then we're going to fold it in half. And we're going to glue one side. Oh, and this doily is approximately 4 1/4. So that way you know. And we are going to glue half of it down. So we want to get out our art glitter glue, or use the glue of your choice. And I'm just going to lightly glue it. And get all the way around the little extra little pieces. Okay. And we're going to glue that down so that the fold is right at the top of the envelope. And we don't want any glue on this top half. So if you have to, get out your towel. I don't think I have any on there, but I'm getting out my towel anyway. And making sure there's no glue on there because we don't want that glued down. We just want the back side glued down. And then I've got some stick-on coins or Velcro dots. And I like to glue my Velcro dots on my paper. Some people do, some people don't. I prefer to. I just think that sometimes the adhesive that they give you doesn't work real well. And then, if you notice, there'll be a little sticky on through the doily where the doily holes are. I'm going to use, I've got these bows that I've had for a really long time. And I am going to pick one that I think matches. Here's one I like better. There I've got a bow that I feel like matches my design here. And I'm going to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac. Put a little Fabri-Tac right where that Velcro dot is. And then put the bow down on that. And I did get a little bit heavy-handed on the glue, so I'm going to lift it up and try to get some of that glue off the doily, because I don't, like I said before, I don't want to glue down that doily. There we go. Turn that so it's even. Okay. And I want to put a little bit of lace at the bottom, so let's see what we've got. I've got this one, but that kind of blends in. I'm not wanting that one. This would be a nice one. Let's go ahead and cut that down. And I'm going to make it a little bigger than the envelope because I'm going to get out my paper again. And I'm just going to use the Distress Oxide to make the lace a little bit darker. Take some of that stark white off of it. Make it look more vintage. Turn it over because both sides are going to be seen. And we're going to just keep going around until it's the color that you want. Kind of like mine just a little darker. Okay. And this is the top here. So I am going to take my Fabri-Tac and I'm going to put a bead of Fabri-Tac across the bottom. The bottle's getting to be a little bit empty, so it's going to take me a minute for it to run down to the bottom of the container. And then you want to, if you want to put the right side of the lace up. There we go. And then we can turn it over and use our scissors. Cut off the excess lace. Okay, 1 second. I accidentally hit my phone and I've got something come up on my phone that I don't want to start by accident. Let's see. So we've got that. And next thing, I think I'd like to have something here. So I think I've got underneath all this, I've got a Ziploc bag. Yes, I do. With some items in here. And this is the Keepsake Ephemera Fussy Cuts by My Porch Prints. I'm not affiliated with My Porch Prints. I just really like their printouts. And I'm going to look in this bag for something that I think, this is pretty. Yeah. I think we'll use this to accent. Or I got this. Which one do I like better? Ooh, I like that. But I like the butterfly. I'm going to do the butterfly, although I think the scales I like a little better, but the butterfly just has more different colors in it. And I'm going to take some more Distress Oxide. And I'm just going to go around the outside edge, distressing the paper where I cut it, and I always leave like a little tiny, maybe an 1/8, maybe a 1/16 of the white. And I like taking the Distress Oxide and covering that up, and then that way it blends better. I think, well, we'll move this out of the way. I think we need some sari silk on here. And I don't want to go with a brown or what? Let me go through my sari silk. I have a big basket of sari silk. I don't want white. I've got orange. Orange is not the color. Teal. Teal is not the right color. Here's a green. No, that's not it. No. What's this? This is kind of different colors. No, I'm not liking that one either. Let me keep digging. Ew. Well, I got two different colors here. We've got a green, or we've got a mauve. I think I'm going to go with the green only because I want some other color besides the brown and the mauve. The mauve looks really pretty with it, but I think to have the green and the mauve, yeah, I think that'll work perfect. And that had an edge on it. Keep that for one of my flowers. And we're going to cut just a little strip and rip. And okay, I'm going to cut about this much. I can always cut more off if I need to. Take my Fabri-Tac and put a generous amount here for the sari silk. And then I want to scrunch this up on here. And I'm going to hold it for a second and hope that it kind of makes it stay. And then I'm going to glue the butterfly on here. Got a little bit of glue on my fingers, which isn't any surprise. I stuck my fingers in the glue. So there we go. We've got a little bit of sari silk hanging down. And I'm not seeing my bead. Yeah, there's some beads. Maybe, here's a good color. My enamel dots. Yeah, I think these will be perfect. These are enamel dots from Stampin' Up. Do I want the peach or do I want the tan? Oh, I just got them all over me. Okay. I guess we want the peach because 3 of the peach ones just landed right in front of me. So we will use those. I'll put these back. We got an avalanche. Things are falling everywhere. Okay. Stick those back in the Ziploc bag so I know where they're at. And there's one and there's one. Put those in the Ziploc bag also so I have them for later. Don't want to waste them. They're so pretty. And then I think we will use these 3 for our butterfly body. And they come with adhesive on the back, but again, I don't feel as though the adhesive is that trustworthy. It seems like you use it and they pop off. So I would rather put a little bit of art glitter glue on the back of them and know that when it dries, it's going to stay. And I just moved that one. So we want to kind of space them out a little bit. And there we have it. Oh, we don't have it because I want to, this is still wet. I want to make a card for the inside. So we will kind of glued, there we go. Thought I glued that down. Then I need to take my 1-inch hole punch and I want to cut out just half of it. So I want to give this a little bit of room to slide the punch in. And we've got about half. Want to punch that out. I am going to, I'm looking for my extra paper. There we go. And I need to cut this down to fit inside here. Okay, and I just eyeball it. Hopefully that's good. See if it'll slide in there. And it does. Okay, how tall do we want it? About that tall. Okay, And then I want to use my corner rounder and round up these corners just so it makes it easier to slide in and out of the envelope. Okay, and we've got this card. Yep, it slides in there well. And then you can journal on that side. And I want to take a piece of this and I'm going to fold it over and take my whale tail punch and cut one of those out. And the thing you want to remember here is you're going to have that flap, so you're going to want the whale tail to be all the way down on your envelope. Instead of normally I would tell you to let it stick up a little bit, but because we made the card the same as the envelope, we're going to want to slide it all the way down. So how I do this is I slide it down. I look to see if that it's somewhat centered. It looks like it is. And then I lift up. I'm holding the back side down so that way it'll stay where I want it. Oh, and then I moved it. Good grief, Lori. Okay, that looks like it's about centered. And then turn it over and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to just glue it down. And then if you stick it in backwards, then your punch will be where the opening is. And I'm having a little trouble here. There we go. It's just going to take it a little bit of time, couple times of pulling it in and out. Then you've got that lined up with your punch out. And then we've got our envelope. And that's it for today. We've got our envelope with journaling card with our bow and our butterfly. So it was really nice working with you today. Thank you for stopping by. If you would, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It helps the algorithm. And you have a great day. Hugs!